Hey, what's up everybody? Thought I'd do a little live video from the dojo here tonight and maybe just show you guys a couple things, give you a little thing to think about. So let me show you the dojo here. I'll show you one of my favorite weapons here. Let me show it to you. So this here, let me hang it up here and I'll show you up here. It's one of my favorite to hold out in the dojo right here. That right there is called a Suburito. Yeah, it's called a Suburito. So it's a heavy sword built to train with. And there's a Hanbo and another Suburito. Yeah, this is a Boken, this one. These are all white oak. Smooth feeling. Awesome to feel. Awesome to train with. I love these weapons here. They've been with me a really long time, so it's one of my favorite. That there, it's the FuDog Group. Kind of cool. Muay Thai bag. Can't ever go wrong with a Muay Thai bag in your dojo. Pull-up bar. Couple bobs here hanging out. This one, it's when I got my Shodan, which was my black belt in Kara Rubuto, which was a black belt in Shorin Karate, all the Okinawan weapons, Daitsureki Jiu-Jitsu. That was in June of '93, so that's a little while now. This one was, let's see, this was, what year was this one here? Oh, this was '99, so 6 years later. That is Renchi certificate there, so that was 6th degree. It's a long time ago, '99 too. You know, time flies, but bobs are good. And then, so besides the, right there, Shinza. Besides that, this is one of my favorite spots on the wall. This is called an iron wall. So those are iron bags. That's a Makiwara. So I just did a training with my son. He built a routine. And then I'll stay for a little longer, do a video with you guys. Hey, what's up, Mike? What's up, Frank? Carmine, what's going on? Everybody else say hello. So these things are filled with like sand and beans. And so what I do is I pick a mantra. You know, a mantra is the sequence of words you want to say. And then I just come in here and I just pound on this thing and condition. And I say the mantra every single time that I do it. I just sit here. Most people have an excuse to not be healthy, right? But they don't have a good reason to be healthy until they get a wake up call to be healthy. But so I'll come out here and then I'll just do strikes on this. So this one sinks in, and then I got a couple. So I'll do a pattern here. I'll say my mantra while I'm doing it. Hey, what's up, Jamie Miller? And I'll sit here and hit this one, and then I'll hit this one a couple times. And then for my last little conditioning here, I go over to these Makiwaras. Now, these are different type of Makiwaras. So they got like cuts in the back here. And so what happens is as you hit these, it compresses and gives a little flexibility. But this is only a little pad. So this does hand conditioning, but it's really like this whole wall, even though it does body and hand conditioning, it really does mind conditioning. I'm going to talk a little bit of mind. I'm going to give you guys a formula. I've never shared it with anybody before. It's going to be the first time I'm sharing the formula on what you need to do and what percentage you need to invest in yourself to have the growth that you admire of some of the greats in the world. So normally once I'm done with this part, I come over here and I do my final. This is like my sink in of my mantra. You'll hear it. Ready? And then so that wakes up your your mind and your body. I got to bounce out. That way, you know, you can see what's going on. So it's a little bit of the dojo. We got to be straightened up. We got stuff laying all over out here right now, but yeah, everybody's got to have a place to focus, right? A place to really get in the groove of what they're trying to accomplish in life, where they want to go. Most people, when they reach a level of success, they actually start to pull back. They start to slow down, and then what happens is they start to age. You know, they start to age, they start to lose their way, they lose their purpose. This happens all the time. Like, success is a gift, but can be a curse if you leave that success to go to your mind and think, like, at any time you think you have it all figured out is the moment that you have to understand you have nothing figured out at all. And that's when you should crave learning more. So let me share what I was going to share with you guys. Little secret formula. Never shared it before. Probably figured it out maybe probably 20 years ago. Even though I've been investing in my personal growth, I mean, I've been doing martial arts since I'm 15. I'm level 42. I did it when I was 12, but then I stopped. But from the age of 15 on, I never stopped. So what is that? It's like 37 years. So I've always had to pay for those trainings and classes. So I've been investing in that stuff for a very long time. But the last 20 years, I had figured out a formula of how do you get to where you want to go faster? Like, how much do you invest in yourself? And I figured it out that if you're making $100,000 a year, okay, salary, you should be investing minimum 30% of that $100,000 a year into your own personal growth. Now, some of you are like, well, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, that's a lot of money. No, because what happens is the less money you make, the more money you have to actually invest in your personal development, because there's a point where you can only push through at the level of your capacity. And the reason you're stuck at $100,000 salary is because you haven't invested enough in your own personal growth. Now, if you're making $50,000 a year salary, well, then you need to invest maybe 50% of that in personal growth, or you'll never get past that $50,000 a year in what you're making. And one of the things I wanted to get to, one of my milestones, not that I needed it, because there's a point where, you know, you all want to get to, you're making more money than you actually need. But I wanted to get to the point where I was doing $1 million a year salary. That was one of my targets, for nothing more than, I didn't know a lot of people doing $1 million a year salary, not business, $1 million a year, getting paid $1 million a year clear. And that happened a long time ago for me. And I'm not bragging to you guys about it. I'm telling you the formula was, if you're making $100,000 a year, you invest 30% of what you're making into personal growth, not business growth. That's separate of what you have to invest. Now, once you start hitting about $250,000, $300,000 a year, then you could back it down from 30% and go to 20%. Okay, so you're investing about $60,000 a year in your personal growth. Now, by the time you get to $150,000 a year salary, if you're investing $60,000 a year in your personal growth, understanding your mind, your energy, your relationships, your ability to communicate, your leadership skills, just the ability to manage yourself, the ability to understand time. Now, you easily, if you start that, you'll go, so you'll probably go from 100 to 250. That's a lot of work for some people to make that in a personal salary. But to go from 250 to 500, if you're investing 20% in your personal growth, you will go there at a lot faster of a speed. Now, as you grow, you could back down the percentage of money you're spending, unless you want to go for quantum growth. Now, if you want to go for quantum growth and you're at, say, 500,000 or 250, stay the 30% investment a year. So when I was doing $1 million a year salary, and tell me what you're taking away from here, everybody. You might find this very interesting and nobody's probably ever told you, or you might find it very distracting and upsetting because you might be like me. At one time I was afraid to invest in anything because I thought I knew everything, which was a big delusion. And so if you want to stick to 30%, then when you're making $1 million a year personal salary, that's about $300,000 a year, which if you look at it that way, you might be a little less than that, but if you want to keep cranking to the point that you're actually building. Now I'm talking about understanding personal growth, not business. So when I look at all the mentors and stuff like that, I probably never hit 300, but I definitely hit 250, 275 investing in a whole lot of personal growth. And that could include groups that I was in, which was a majority of personal growth. You know, at one time I had seven coaches at one time in every single area: spiritual coach, energy coach, martial arts coach. Then I had like a marketing coach. I had a scalability coach, relationship coach. There was 7 different coaches. And so if you just use this formula, hey mom, if you use this formula of investing 30% in personal growth, now the same part will hold true, the amount that you actually put into business investment too. They're totally different investments. How do I know this? I'll give you a quick story, and I might actually walk outside. It's a little toasty in here, but I'm probably still heated from working out. So if you look at business, I'll tell you what happened when I really figured this out. We were already doing really good in the company, but the reason why we were doing really good in the company we're scaling is not what most people think is why we scaled. You think that I scaled everything I built because I understood marketing. Yes, I consider myself a world-class marketer. Sales, I understand the art of delivering value. Operations, I understand culture really well. You know, financial analysis, I understand the numbers and how to track and course correct. But that's not really what made the biggest thing. See, the more I invested in my own personal growth, I learned that I had to bring the personal growth to the people in my company. And they craved it, because I used to tell people when I used to hire them, like, hey, are you okay if working for me, you become a better father? Like, is that okay? Is it okay if you become a better husband? Is it okay if you become more powerful? So I found out that one of the secrets to success of growing quicker was investing and bringing what I was investing in myself on personal growth and bringing it to the culture. Now, how did I figure this out? Well, I was in an organization one time. Well, I actually could say the organization now. I was in Nexstar at one time until the president, he did something that was not very nice, not ethical, lack of integrity. But when I was there, we hired someone to come out and do sales training with our people. It was $45,000. I think it was for 3 days. So $45K for 3 days. A lot of money, right? But not if you get 1% conversion more on everybody in the company. So he came out, he's a hot shot in the industry. He's like, you know, the cat's meow, everybody brags. I'm thinking, man, we're gonna get a huge return on this 45K. Guy comes out, teaches, my team's like, okay. They're waiting for the big thing, the big bang, the big change, the big shift. It never comes. We get, let me see. I don't know. Is that Jeff Frankowski? Jeff Frankowski might have been there. I don't know if he was there when we brought a salesman out for 3 days. Literally shutting down the company, shifting 3 days. And my team, who at Gold Medal I considered the best of the best, because I kept investing in them on how to think, how to be, how to act, how to be better. A lot of them, all I wanted to know was like, what do we need to do for you so we could get you a bigger home, put your kids through college? And so this guy leaves and we don't improve at all. We don't get any more, but we're already converting very high. And I'm annoyed as hell because I'm like, man, we invested $45,000 to bring this sales guru out, and like we're not getting nothing in return because like my team at Gold Medal, they're already monsters. They're already pros. They're already experts, right? Because we were working with them all the time how to be better people and treat people better. How to be better people and treat people better. I wasn't teaching trickery, manipulation, and stuff like that. I was treating how to deliver a process in a way that you don't have to sell, that people would buy because they would love us. So later, I started to think to myself, well, why did this happen? Because the guy had sales skill. He didn't have the ability to shift people's minds. He didn't have the ability to shift people's thinking. He didn't have that ability. So we wasted money. And so what I finally learned, and I'll go back summarize for some of you that are here, what I finally learned about, this level of creating success that you want, and having 200 employees, I also learned how do good employees become difficult employees? Well, their life spirals out of control. How do good customers become not good customers? Their life spirals out of control. I dealt with it all the time. Like literally halfway through a job and then the husband and wife decide to get divorced and we're trying to track down our money. So if you go back to the formula that I'm sharing with you, and I'm sharing with you the literal secret to go from where you're at to where you want to go. Look, I was successful when it was me and Rob in a truck pulling wires in an attic. I never felt not successful. I never felt like I was not making improvement. I loved climbing in attics. I loved pulling wires. I loved the next challenge. That was actually easy. Like going to a job back then and showing the customer value and having them buy $5, $10, $15, $20,000 job. That's like baby food, man. It's baby food. Because when you're really confident, you're really skilled, you're really good, and you really care, customers buy. Like it's not rocket science, everybody. It's really not. I know people want to tell you it is, but what they're telling you is they're trying to give you a sales skill without breaking through your mind. You need a you skill. You should write that down. You need a you skill, not a sales skill. You need to break through you. So as I started to figure this out was really by studying human behavior. What keeps some people stuck and some not? Some happy, some sad, some with anxiety, some without, some depressed, some not depressed. And I started to find out that for myself over time, the formula was, and as soon as I knew it, I was addicted to it. As soon as I knew that I invested money in something to make me better, and better mean think better, think quicker, understand, right? As soon as I did that, I started to see the improvement in me and the improvement in everyone. Write this down, everybody. And if you didn't watch my chaos training, it's free. I'll gift it to you. Just private message me and I'll gift it to you. The chaos in the world, in your world, is the chaos inside of you. So I started to learn, well, I need to get good for me to be good for everyone. I mean, I look today at the people that were in my world. First off, a whole bunch of them have their own companies today, which is actually really cool because I get it. It sucked. Some of the people on here, I sold. That was never fun. Hey, what can I say? I didn't sell because I needed the money. I sold because I needed to change the world more. So I get everybody didn't understand that. But that's the truth to everybody. Like at 32 million a year, I was already doing very well for myself. My employees were doing amazing. I didn't do it. I didn't sell for that. I sold because the service industry as a whole was suffering so bad. And I couldn't be selfish no more, bragging about what I built and watching everyone else suffer, right? But when I look back, I say, well, how much did I invest in it? At the point I was putting it on credit cards, I didn't have the money, right? And I said, well, I was putting like 30,000 a year when I was just making 150,000 a year. I was putting 30,000 into my own personal development between mind training, martial arts training. Now that's a lot of money. But if you look at it, it really wasn't, because I wasn't wasting money on alcohol. I wasn't making money on drugs. I wasn't wasting money on cigarettes. I wasn't wasting money. So I was taking the money and I was investing in myself. And I just gave, actually, I don't know if Jeff Frankowski, I don't know if anybody on it, he even remembers. Maybe he does. Heath Munson was just was Facebook messaging me before, which is a funny story, because Heath Munson, I needed a dispatcher, and he worked for Gray Bar. And he always took care of me at Gray Bar Electric. It was an electrical supply place. And then I told him, like, we were small. We couldn't afford a dispatcher, but we needed somebody to help. And so I said, Heath, why don't you come and work for me? You work in a warehouse, you do all this stuff, and you'll grow with us. And he did. He took a chance. We hired him away from Gray Bar. So that was always a fun thing, right? And he stayed with me until he fell in love with the who was a CSR and then ended up being my executive assistant. And Heath, I was just talking about you. And then he married who was my executive assistant. Then they moved to PA, and I lost dispatcher and my executive assistant, right? So just interesting fact. But you know, the thing is, Heath was asking me before, he's like, how many books you write? And I'm like, 18. I didn't write 18 because I had to write 18. I wrote 18 because I wanted to keep giving people the opportunity to win. I think the problem today is they're settling, they're complacent. They're so worried about the car they're going to buy, and they're so worried about the watch, and they're so worried about the vacation. They're never investing in what it takes in their own personal growth. So like, they want what the best in the world have, but they're not willing to do what the best in the world did, you know? And I don't think it's rocket science. I don't think it's a secret formula. I'm just telling you that if you want to move faster, if you're making under $100,000 a year, you should be investing 30% of your money into personal development for yourself to grow. If you don't grow your relationships will grow apart. It's a fact. I watch it all the time. If you do not invest in your relationships, they'll grow apart. It happens, right? If you don't invest in your understanding of wealth creation, compounding, the ability to grow assets, if you don't do that, you won't have assets. You'll have suffering, because you'll need something that's outside of reach, and you'll struggle. And that might be healthcare. It might be an operation. It might be something for your children. So if you look at that formula of 30%, and if you really want to move mountains and create legacy freedom and legacy wealth, invest 30% of your salary and just keep investing 30%. Just keep investing 30%. Because you're the key indicator. Like, people give the money to a financial advisor. They're like, oh, I have 100,000 here. And yeah, the financial advisor tells you, and I'm not against financial advisor. I've great fiduciaries in my world. What they don't tell you, they tell you 30 years from now that $100,000 is going to be worth 1.4 million. Well, let me give you the formula they don't tell you. That 100,000 invested in yourself is worth 5, 10, or 15 million. In half of the time, if not a 16th of the time, that the stock market, or right? Write this down, everybody. The greatest hedge in the world is betting on yourself. It's the greatest hedge in the world, is betting on yourself, building your own skills and ability to make quicker, swifter, smarter decisions. This is the hedge. And look, not enough people are telling you, because I'm convinced, and I'm going to use this term with, don't take this offensively. Like, I feel like a lot of people are broken. What I mean by broken is I feel like a lot of people are stuck in shit soup, right? They're just stuck. That's what I mean by broken. Not that you're physically or mentally broken. You're in a place of being stuck. And I think the world loves that of you. I think they love you being stuck. They love you being stuck. They love that you're not growing and improving and creating, and they love that. I hate it. I hate hearing people are stuck. I despise somebody suffering. I despise somebody not having the life they want. I despise that someone needs, their teeth fixed, or, an operation and can't afford it, or medication they can't. Like that just, it's horrible. I can't stand that. If you grow yourself, and so I invested 30% of my personal salary. Later, I was able to take it from the company, 30% of my own salary, back into my own personal education, personal development. And anytime I had enough money, I did one-on-one trainings with people. One-on-one, anytime I could swing it and afford it. And there were some times I could not do it. I mean, and that might sound weird hearing it from me, but, some of these people, I remember I spent $20,000 for one day with, it was actually with Joe Polish. If any of you know Joe Polish, great marketer, friend. And I wasn't a friend then with him. He knew of me and I wanted his knowledge. And I said, man, $20,000 for one day. Okay. One of the best days of my life. It changed the trajectory on how to think about life differently. Now look, if you see, it's not about learning, because learning doesn't create execution. It doesn't. Breakthroughs create execution. You should write that down. Learnings do not create execution. Breakthroughs, which is breaking down something old to break it away, to have a breakthrough to something new, that creates the speed of light. So anytime I was able to grab somebody's time, if I was going to a training they were having, I used to say, hey, by the way, I'm going to be at this 3-day training. What would it take me to buy 3 hours of your private time? Sometimes it was five grand, sometimes it's 8 grand, whatever it was. And I would buy time, right? Because I knew the number one strategy of getting everything you desire. It's funny, somebody was talking to me today. They're thinking, I have this, I only have a handful of spots left. I'm doing 2 days in person right next door here at our house. This is my one house. My wife and I bought another house so that we could host exclusive VIP events with only 15 people. It's called Speak Your Impact. It's for anybody who knows that they have something to say and they have to break through, and their voice has been, closed shut, and they don't know how to deliver a message to their family, to the world, to create magic in their life. Like they don't, and they want a breakthrough. Well, I have a 2-day event, right, for 15 people. If anybody's interested, hit me with a private message. And so what I found out was, that's what I always wanted. Like if I can get some time of an exclusive, because here's the thing, okay? Saving decades in minutes. You should write that down. Like I've created a lot of decamillionaires in the last couple of years. A lot. A decamillionaire means they have 10 million or more in their bank account. Like so many people that were in my world when I was teaching them how to break through themselves and learn marketing, sales, operation in the service industry. I don't coach service people anymore since I sold CEO Warrior. But so many people are decamillionaires from being in that world. Now, the secret sauce is you have to invest in something that's breaking through your mind. That's it. Simple formula. Find the right person that can save you decades in minutes by sharing one thing that kills an old belief that never comes back and creates a new belief. I had it for myself. That's why I'm just sharing it for you. So someone asked me today that's thinking about coming to Speak the Impact. They said, what's your life like now? My wife's on here. I wonder if she would type in what life is like now. Like, life is like whatever we want it to be. Like if we want to go to the beach swimming, we go to the beach swimming. If we want to go for a bicycle ride, we go for a bicycle ride. If we want to walk the dog, we walk the dog. If I want to come and train, I train. If I want to go for a walk with my son, I go for a walk with my son. If you have to go on vacation, you already have a problem, everybody. Build your life where your entire life's a vacation. And then you won't have a quest to get away from anything. The only quest will be present in exactly the moment you're at. That will be the only thing you want, is to be present in this moment of life because you love it. You love it so, so much. Okay. I hope this is value for you guys. If anybody just joined, go back. I gave the formula of what you need to do. And if any of you like are stuck and you don't know what to do, just send me a private message. I'll direct. Look, I'm not a fit for everybody. Man, it's the only thing about this goatee. My wife's like, let it get thicker so it's smoother, right? Because when it's small, it's like a porcupine. But like, man, when you sweat, it's just like sweating. I don't know. My son's got a big beard. I don't know how he deals with it. But look, I'm not a fit for everybody in the world because I'm pretty intense and I demand results. And I understand I get breakthroughs, and as long as you're committed to having a breakthrough, I'm committed to coming at that sucker any way that I have to get the breakthrough. If that means, breaking wood or punching bags or screaming till you cry, like, I don't know, I'm gonna get the breakthrough. So I'm not a fit for everybody, and that's okay. Don't feel bad if I'm not a fit for you. You have an open invitation. Send me a private message. Be like, I'm stuck in business. What do I do? And I'll go, well, why don't you go look at this resource? Why don't you go see this person? Why don't you interview this company? Or I'm stuck here. Now remember, I don't coach service companies no more. It's not what I do since I sold CEO Warrior in 2020. But I could guide you. I have a lot of friends, a lot of resources. I have connections to a lot of consultants, a lot of different types of coaches, from the financial side to the business. I have connections for these things. And I'd be honored just to hand you over a connection to help you out, so you don't stay stuck. I don't want any of you to stay stuck. It could be that one thing that helps you move forward, and that's all I want to do. And if any of you are looking for partners to partner in your company, I'm talking about good partners, like not like somebody who's going to try to take your soul and take advantage of you, not that. But if you're looking for like equity partners or something, I have connections to those too. If it's something outside the service industry, so outside of plumbing, HVAC, electrical, and you know somebody looking for a partner, well then keep me in mind. I'm looking for some more people to partner with. Just go to partnerwithmikea.com. If someone on my team's on, can you type that in the chat bar? If not, it's cool. Just write down Partner with Mike A. So if you know someone who owns a marketing company or manufacturing or a startup or something, my wife says I'm looking for my sexy husband. Okay, I'm in the dojo sweating for you. I'm coming up hot. Okay, enough of that. So if you know anybody that's looking for a partnership and they want to exit their company in 3 to 5 years to create legacy wealth, well, that's exactly one of the things I do today. I just don't do it in the service industry. If you're looking for high quality partner to build and exit your company and you own a service company, I got connections to the best in the world that can help you move faster than ever, and you could trust, and you could go to sleep at night and not feel like, somebody's taking your soul away and stuff, because that's happening a lot out there today. It seems good, but yeah, sometimes if it's too good, it's not good at all. Okay, I hope this was big value for you guys. I didn't think I was going to do it, but I was all warmed up out here anyway, so thought I'd do a video for you guys tonight. Appreciate everybody. Love you guys. And if I could serve in any way, private message me. And if you didn't get my new Mind Power book, like I sent holy shit, I think I sent 20 out in the last couple of days. I really want to change the world with this. The book is so great. If you'll read it, just send me a private message and be like, hey, can I have the book? Here's my address. And please, if you know anybody that's working with groups, I don't care if it's homeless shelters or they're helping people that maybe were in prison, but they're trying to get back in the system, or any type of groups that Mind Power book might help them, tell the facilitator, just reach out to me. I'll send them a bunch of books on me. And even if they want me to do a virtual training for an hour with them, as long as I have space to fit it in, I'd love to help anybody get back on their feet. Or if you know anybody that's struggling today, or their mind or anything like that, this book is really changing the world. It's helping so many people. I'll cover the shipping, No obligation on anything. We'll send it out. Like I said, we sent like 20 today. So please read it. And if you like it, read it again. If you don't like it, we'll give it to someone else. Maybe they'll like it better. Okay. Have a great night, everybody. Boom.